You're probably going, okay, how did you guys afford all this stuff? Because that's always a big question. And here's what I know as a fact. Whatever the superintendent and the school board feel are important gets done. So when people say that there's no money, that's not true. It's just how is your money being spent? And I can say that because I work in Delano. We have no money. We are not an affluent community. We do not have corporate sponsors we can get to come and partner with us. We don't. Unless you're a farmer, we don't have those resources. So what I did was go to the school board over and over and over and over again and do those little 3-minute public comment cards and then leave until they started to pay attention. And then we got to have bigger meetings. And then those meetings got to be bigger meetings and longer meetings and more frequent meetings. And eventually, it took a long time, but eventually, like when we hired Royal King, I went and watched this guy teach at a school during the summer school. I went and watched him for 3 days. I came back to the school board and said, I want this guy in Delano because this is what we need to be the bridge between no PE and great PE, because he makes it look easy and he'll be able to teach the teachers how to do it. And we talked and we talked and we talked and they said, okay. And he's not cheap. He's not cheap. $5 grand a week. Right? But we got him for 26 weeks. And we brought him back this year for a second year. And we know what the state budget's like. So, and here's what I can also tell you in all perfect honesty. In the last 3 years, Delano has not peak slipped one teacher. Not one. In the last 3 years, the fact that we're doing all this stuff with PE, no other curricular program has been put on the shelf because of physical education. So in other words, like, we haven't said we're not buying any language arts textbooks because we're doing PE. That has not been done. Nobody's been pink slipped, and financially we're really sound. And it's because the school board is very fiscally responsible. But they put their money where their mouth was. They put the money in the areas that they thought was important. And eventually I was able to convince them, along with a bunch of other people who jumped on the bandwagon, that physical education was important. And they bought it. And no, it didn't happen overnight. I started this in 1998. It's 2011 and I'm not done yet. We still have a long way to go. So it takes a long time. It's a process. You're trying to change a culture. But my point is the money's there. If they think it's important, the money will be there. If they don't think it's important, then they'll tell you there's no money. And that's honest. That's honest. Coming from somebody where there's no money in my town. There's none. But we were able to do this.